presentation, I want to discuss the procedure of method study. The objective of method study is simply and develop more economical method of doing it. Method study is systematic and investigation of problem being considered and in the development of its solution. There are the certain factor while selecting the work from the method study. Number 1 is economical consideration. Number 2 is technical consideration. Number 3 is human consideration. Economical consideration. This is important in all walks of life, but its economical importance of a job small, it is of no use to initiate and continue a study. It is important to give priority to those type of problem job which offer more potential for cost control or reduction. Technical consideration, availability of technique knowledge which study it is carry out is an important consideration that is to be keep in mind while selecting the job. And human consideration, emotional reaction of all workers staff to the method study and exchange in method are important consideration. There are 7 basic data collection and analysis tools. Number 1 is histogram, 2 is Pareto chart, 3 is pie chart, 4 is check sheet, 5 is defect concentration diagram, 6 is scatter diagram, 7 is cause and effect diagram. There are some sample of chart for the collection and data for analysis tools. Here are the sample of histogram. Part of histogram is the title, the var, x-axis, and y-axis. Distribution of a histogram are right square distribution, random distribution, normal distribution, bimodal distribution, and left square distribution. Here are sample of Pareto chart, sample of pie chart, sample defect check sheet, and sample defect concentration diagram. Sample scatter diagram and cause and effect diagram.
Good day guys. So as part of the presentation for method study principles, I will discuss to you part B, of which is recording. Method study is dependent upon the exact representation of the facts, so recording is a fundamental process. Method study uses techniques to record the sequence of activities, the time relationship between these activities, and the movement of materials and staff. We always have to record the method accurately so that the method that we are trying to develop will always be based on accurate information and will be related to the study as they form the basis for eventual critical examination. Now, in recording, we are using different symbols to denote a certain operation. Now, the circle is for the movement. No? Then the square is for the inspection. The arrow symbol is for transportation. And the delay is capital D, as in dog, and storage is denoted by capital V. Using symbols is part of the recording technique to simplify the presentation of the process. The inspection part is where the actual visual inspection, count of material, and the dimensions are thought to be inspected. Transportation shows the movement of people or workers, material or equipment from one location to another. Some examples of this are movement of one material to another location or movement of equipment or tools from one workstation to the other. Delay is when a certain needed performance did not take place on the next supposed process, therefore causing disruption in the process. This may be in the form of workers waiting for orders, waiting for the arrival of material, waiting for their superiors to do a certain work, or working until the next shift of operation. Storage refers to receiving or issuing material to a specified location. It includes materials ready for stocking and document filing. Now, we can record using charts or diagrams. Charts are often used to ease understanding of large quantities of data and the relationships between parts of these data. Diagrams are symbolic representation of information using visualization techniques. Now, we can also record using process charts. Process charts are a graphical representation of the sequence of steps or workflow constituting a process from raw material through to the finished product. It serves as a tool for examining the process in detail to identify area of possible improvements. Now, the flow chart is a graphical representation of the process. Through a flow chart, it's used as a means of getting a top-down understanding of how a process works, what steps consist of it, and what events change the outcome, and so on. Process flow charts are an essential part of business process mapping. They are usually used to understand how a process works and for improving and standardizing this process. There are ways to make a flowchart, and that is, of course, by knowing first the right information, the exact process steps, variables and events, and who will be the personnel in charge. It is also created by drawing the flowchart with, of course, the corresponding symbol. We also have one type of process chart, which is the worker-machine process chart. This chart is used to demonstrate the time relationship between the working cycle of a person in relation to the operating cycle of a machine or equipment. The objective of using this chart is to optimize work distribution between workers and machines to evaluate the number of persons or groups to perform. Now, we also have one process chart that is called gang process chart. But as the name implies, it doesn't mean gangs, no? A gang process chart is used when several workers operate one machine. This chart helps in exploring the possibility of reducing both the operator time and idle machine time. It can also be used to plot the interaction between the workers and machines. What steps consist of it, and what events change the outcome, and so on. Process flow charts are an essential part of business process mapping. They are usually used to understand how a process works and for improving and standardizing this process. There are ways to make a flowchart, and that is, of course, by knowing first the right information, the exact process steps, variables and events, and who will be the personnel in charge. It is also created by drawing the flowchart with, of course, the corresponding symbol. We also have one type of process chart, which is the worker-machine process chart. This chart is used to demonstrate the time relationship between the working cycle of a person in relation to the operating cycle of a machine or equipment. The objective of using this chart is to optimize work distribution between workers and machines to evaluate the number of persons or groups to perform. Now, we also have one process chart that is called gang process chart. But as the name implies, it doesn't mean gangs, no? A gang process chart is used when several workers operate one machine. This chart helps in exploring the possibility of reducing both the operator time and idle machine time. It can also be used to plot the interaction between the workers and the machine. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Herbert Dean de la Cruz from Group 1 and I am here to discuss to you the third procedure of method study, and this is the examine. Number 3. Critical examination of the existing method. Now, examine the facts critically. This is a key step in the whole study.
The information available in the form of chart and graphs after step 2 can now be thoroughly studied and analyzed in order to detect the production stages where improvement in the method is possible.
So, examination is just a technique to check the significance or bottlenecks of a process. But which activities to be examined first and now are the points to be kept in mind while examining. This is achieved by questioning the different activities of the process in systematic, logical, and objective manner. First, we will categorize the various activities in two types.
A. Activities are which material is worked upon and moved or examined. B. Activities in which material are not touched, being either in storage or in a delay operation. So, the first activities to be examined must be those which are obviously non-productive or activities like delay, storage, etc.
There are two stages of examining or questioning the activities: primary questions and secondary questions sessions. Primary questions are based on the purpose, place, sequence, person, and means. So, the primary questions are: first, what is done and what is its significance? Second, where the process is carried out and why at that place. Third, in which sequence it is done. Fourth, who is performing that process and why he is performing. And last, by what means process is carried out and why. Secondary questions take into account the second stage of questioning technique. Here the answers for the primary questions are further subjected to questions.
Secondary questions are: first, what should be done and what else we could have done. Second, where should the process be carried out and where else we could have performed it. Third, which sequence is perfect for this process and what else sequence is possible. Fourth, who should perform it and who else might do it. Fifth, how should it be performed and how else might it be performed.
These answers from the basis of the proposals to the improved method. In the evaluation phase, work study man considers all the possibilities with respect to the four factors, namely safety, economy, work quality, and human factors. In these four, economic factors are the most important in most situations. Economic factors to any proposal refer to determination of how much this will cost. Safety considerations ensure that the proposed methods shall not make the work less safe. Quality considerations determine or check whether the proposed method will make for better product quality or quality control. Human considerations endures that the proposed method will be easy to learn, safe, less monotonous, and with minimum fatigue.
These questions can help in the development of new method by getting the answers for what should be done, when should be done, who should do it, where should it be done, how should it be done. The following improvements are possible on the basic of answers to these questions. Improvement in material flow. Second, improvement in working conditions. Third, improvement in manufacturing techniques. Fourth, improvement to clerical routine. Fifth, reduction in material waste.
In this way, a well-conducted examination will determine the purpose, place, sequence of these activities, the person performing them, and the resources by which it can be performed so as to select the best optimum out of the possible alternatives.
Step 4 is develop. Develop the best method as resulted from critical examination and record it. The developed method should be practical and feasible, safe and effective, and economical. The analysis of existing work method can provide a starting point for a synthesis of suggested improvements in job performance. The technique specially designed for improving work method is called the process improvement formula, and these are: eliminate unnecessary activities, combine two or more activities, sequence the various activities properly, and simplify the activities. Complete elimination of unwanted activities is the most important step in developing an improved method. If elimination is not possible, then the possibility of combining the different activities should be explored. The next strategy in development stage is to identify the scope of change in the sequence of operations or activities. The last and most important, plus expensive step in process of method development is the simplification of activities in order to allow the operator worker to complete the job more quickly and easily by reducing the number of operations, reducing or eliminating the delays and storage. And finally, after selecting the work method to be adopted, certain amount of experimentation will be required to locate and eliminate snags, if any. Specify the improved method. It is essential that the selected method can be described fully in a systematic manner.
Method study procedure. Evaluate. Evaluate different alternatives to develop a new improved methods, comparing cost effectiveness of the selected new items with the current method performance. In method study procedure, there are things to evaluate. First, multiple improvement idea. Second, cost benefits and drawback consideration. Third, reporting. Improving company process is about more than to pursue of efficient and effectiveness. Want to know the best part? The goal is to help the company to meet its strategic goal by adding value in every activity or production process to provide the best customer experience. Three ideas for process improvement. First, GOT matrix, gravity, urgency, and trends. Second, brainstorming. This is one of the idea to improve company process that is used because its power to unite the team in searching for solve. Third, the cause and effects diagram, also called by some Ishikawa diagram, named after its creator. It is very effective way to relate several causes a problem that needs to resolve. Cost benefits and drawback consideration. Cost. In production research, retail, and accounting, a cost is a value of money that has been used to produce something or deliver a service. and hence it's not available for use anymore. In business, the cost may be the one of acquisition, in which case the amount of money extended to acquire it is counted as cost. Benefits. When it comes to employment, a benefit is any additional advance an employee receives from his or her employer. Everyone receives a wage, but benefits to beyond that include items such as vacation time, pension, and health insurance coverage. Benefits can fall under different categories. Fringe benefits include paid holidays and retirement plans. They are tax deductible for employer. They remain untaxed for the employees. There are also retirement benefits that are offered by Social Security Administration. This is provided to individuals who have reached the age of retirement and accumulate enough credits to be eligible for the program. Benefits are generally offered as a way to entice individuals to apply to an open position within a company and to retain great employees. In this term, we need to know the cost benefits analysis, or CBA. It's a technique used to compare the total cost of a project with its benefits. Using a common metric, most commonly monetary units. Decisions are based on whether there is a net benefit or cost to approach total benefits less total cost. To do a cost benefits analysis, there are the steps. Step 1. Brainstorm costs and benefits. Step 2. Assign a monetary value to the cost. Step 3. Assign a monetary value to the benefits. Step 4. Compare costs and benefits. Cost benefits analysis is a systematic process for calculating and comparing benefits and costs of a project. A cost benefits analysis finds, qualifies, and adds all positive factors, the benefits. Then it identifies, quantifies, and subtracts all negative action is advisable. The real trick to doing the cost benefits analysis well is making sure you include all costs and all benefits and properly quantify them. Reporting. A report is a document that presents information in an organization format for a specific audience and purpose. Although summaries of reports may be delivered orally, complete reports and almost always in the form of written documents. Reporting methods. There are many ways to present data so that it can be easily understood by stakeholders regardless of reporting method. Simplicity will ensure that result of an evaluation are both accessibly and understandable. There are two broad categories of reporting method: written written reports and oral visual report. A written report may be a project requires of the best way to communicate information to a specific audience. However, many people learn best by sharing, seeing information. Giving a presentation can provide a valuable opportunity for the evaluator to interact with the intended audience and for the audience to ask questions. While oral visual report, the standard the standard the standard oral report consists an introduction, tell the audience that you are going to tell them, a main body, tell them, and conclusion, tell them what you have told them.
The introduction should include an overview of the rest of the talk to help listener understand what you're going to say. Type, types of report includes memos, minutes, lab reports, book report, progress report, justification report, compliance report, annual reports, and policy and
Installation phase. The success of any method study project is realized when actual change is made on the ground. Change that meets the originally specified terms of reference for the project. Though the install phase is very important, making theoretical change is easy. Making real change demands careful planning and handling of the people involved in the situation under review. They may need reassuring, retraining, supporting through the acquisition of new skills. Install in some cases will require a parallel running of old and new system. In others, it may need build up or buffer stocks and other planning to manage the change. What matters is that the introduction of new working method is successful. There is often only one chance to make change. This involves training of those who are going to utilize the new method. Cooperation from both supervisory staff and operation is essential to success installation of any proposed and selected method. So the installation of the new method should be then entrusted to some responsible person. The method implemented can be further improved by way of continuous observation and discussion. The trial runs may be carried out during which minor modification may be made to facilitate work. Any method selected is ultimately to be utilized by the employees in the environment created by the management. So employee and management should be subjected to intensive analysis so that the proposed method is operated in the possible manner. Installation phase of the method study is complete as soon as the newly installed methods start working smoothly and satisfactory and provides encouraging results such as time savings, scrap reduction, etc. Even after the workers have been trained and requisite change in machine and layout have been incorporated, there is no guarantee that the method will be used the way it was designed. The proper functioning of the installed method is ensured by periodic check and verifications. The purpose of the checks and reverse is to determine if the method being adopted and practiced is the same or it has deviation from the selected one. Reason for deviation, if any, should be explored and the required change may be incorporated in the procedure being practiced so as to revert back to the authorized or selected one. Views of person concerned, like operators and supervisor, with the installed method can be of much help in exploring further improvements in the system. Therefore, the method should be revised at the interval and provide allowance for any changes. Maintain pace. Sometime after the introduction of new working method, it is necessary to check that the new method is working, that it is being properly followed, and that it has brought about. After the introduction of new working method, it is necessary to check that the new method is working, that it is being properly followed, and that it has brought about the desired result. This is the maintain phase. Method drift is common when people either revert to the old ways of working or introduce new changes. Some of these may be helpful and should formally be incorporated. Others may be inefficient or unsafe. A method audit can be used to formally compare practice with a defined method and identify such irregularities. Even after the workers have been trained and requisite changes in the machine and layout have been incorporated, there is no guarantee that the method will be used the way it was designed. The proper functioning of the installed method is ensured by periodic checks and verification. The purpose of check and reverse is to determine if the method being adopted and practiced is the same as it has some deviation from the selected one.